would you be able to live in a completely dark bathroom for 30 days straight with no human interaction for $100,000? I repeat, would you be able to stay in a bathroom for 30 days straight, no human interaction, no lights, for $100,000? Today, we're going to talk about a recent prop bet that's been made where a man will have to do just that. All right, so let's get into the specifics of the bet, and let's talk about if I think that this guy can actually pull this off, as I am debatably a prop bet king, even though, you know, these past year I haven't necessarily won all my prop bets, but sometimes you got to give action to give a little action. So the specifics of the bet look like this: $100,000 at 1-to-1 odds. By the way, this is the worst odds I've ever seen in a prop bet in my entire life. I think that you could have definitely gotten better odds on this, but yeah, the specifics are the door will remain unlocked, and the guy making the bet, I believe his name is Rich, he can leave at any time. There will be no light and no real way to gauge whether it's night, whether it's day, what time it is, what day it is. You have no idea what the hell is going on. There'll be a refrigerator in there with ample food and water, and food will be delivered at different times, but he'll have enough food to eat for about 6 days. No alcohol, no sleep aids, no drugs are allowed. Doesn't sound fun. He has toiletries, towels, some sort of bed and pillow, a paddleball, and a Rubik's Cube. I don't know how you're gonna do a Rubik's Cube in the dark, but I guess it's kind of like a fidget spinner. He'll be given whatever vitamins he needs. There's live stream set up with 5 night vision cameras in there to capture the action. And if he stays in the room for the full 30 days, he wins $100K. Now, it looks like this guy, Rich, made the bet with a man named Rory Young, poker player, lives out here in Vegas from Australia, I believe. He gave an interview over on Pocket Fives that Lance Bradley did, and he talked about the food that he's going to get is from a restaurant named Flower Child in Vegas, some sliced fruit, almond milk cereal, Pop-Tarts he has in his fridge. Very, very healthy diet my man's going to be having here for 30 days. He said that this guy, Rich, did not really prepare for the bet at all. He said there was a clause that he would have to do a cavity search before he went into the bathroom, but it didn't end up happening. So Rory talked about the bet was made when they were playing heads up at the poker table. They played a game a lot, and thinks one of the questions was, how long do you think you could last in a dark room with no human interaction? Then he said he think it could last 30 days, and then they started talking some action. He said the conditions are complete darkness, no electronics, no light emitting devices, no drugs of any kind. He is allowed any type of food that he wants. There's a bed, there's a shower, there's a bathtub, and there's pretty lavish toiletries like Epsom salt, sugar scrubs, and that kind of stuff. So it kind of looks like this guy went into this with absolutely no plan except having a lot of heart and a lot of self-confidence in himself. Most people out there have been saying that they think there's no chance. They think that he will lose his mind. They think that 30 days in that type of isolation in the dark with no human interaction is going to drive this man insane. There's plenty of other people out there posting on the forums and also communicating with me on my Twitter that say 100% he can do it. So it's very interesting to see this type of polarization for a bet like this. No one's really in the middle saying, oh, I don't know if he can do it, or maybe he can do it. Everyone's just like, no, he can't, or yes, he can. I personally am on the standpoint that if you're going to make a bet like this and put up $100,000 of your own money, you got to be pretty confident you're going to be able to pull this off. And I think you probably underestimate greatly exactly what this will do to you and how this will affect you. But I mean, I don't know, unless I die, you're not dragging me out of that bathroom. I'm not leaving the bathroom. If I'm in there, it's already 7 days into the bet. If I'm 7 days into the bet, I die before I get out of there. I'm not leaving. And how would you know if the guy's lost his mind until he actually came out? And if you lost your mind while you were in there, well, you'd probably just stay in there unless you forgot you had the bet. But then would you lose your mind enough where you don't remember that you had the bet? I just think for me, if I'm going to make a bet like this, I'm either losing in the first few days or I'm going to win the bet. So my money right now, if I wanted to make a bet, which I'm more than happy to bet with someone out there. If you guys want to bet, let me know. I bet on the side that I think he's going to be able to pull this off. In terms of how you would approach the bet, he's got the Rubik's Cube in there. Like I said, like a fidget spinner sort of play with. I mean, I don't know. To me, it sounds kind of peaceful with how many crazy things are running around in my mind on a consistent basis to just have 30 days in the dark, the silence, or not really silence because you'd be eating food and doing things like that. But it doesn't sound that. I mean, listen, it's probably crazy. What am I talking about? I don't know. I don't think I wouldn't want to do it ever on my own. But if a bet's on the line, if that pride's on the line, if that money's on the line, I think that's a much different story. But yeah, how would I approach it? I mean, I think the man's going to be taking a lot of bats in there. I think he's going to be talking to himself. I think he's probably going to be doing some push-ups, sit-ups, going to be working out in there. Hopefully trying to have a nice, steady diet of food. Probably trying to sleep a lot as well. I mean, I don't know, man. It could end up being a good thing for the guy, right? Maybe. Maybe he loses his fucking mind. But I don't know. People out there saying the guy's nickname is a scumbag rich. I'm not sure why exactly he's got this nickname. I read some things about angling. I don't really know much about the guy. I don't know much about the people involved in the bet. I don't know if there's any sort of out-of-line activity happening on this bet. I did read on Twitter, my man Lan Ashby said that it looks like, allegedly, Rory, who made the bet with Rich, has also booked some action on the other side, so he's hedged his bet. So there's a chance that he might have more money on the side that he can win it than he can lose it. Now, that's not something I've done in the past in all of my prop bets. I've never really bet on something and then also bet against it to hedge my bet. We could certainly debate whether that's in line or that's out of line. I think for me, if I'm going to make this bet that he can't do it, then I'm going to keep that bet. I don't know. I guess from a betting standpoint, maybe it's a smart hustle, but I don't know, man. I kind of believe in prop bets like this. If I'm going to have one side or the other, I'm probably not going to hedge my bets, especially, I don't know, it's very, very weird situation. I've ever actually heard of this happening in some sort of private prop bet like this, but I'm sure this does happen plenty in things like this. But at the same time, how many bets are people making where they bet $100,000 that a guy can live in the fucking dark for 30 days? So I do think these guys may have gotten in touch with me before the bet happened, but I really wasn't making much content. I would have loved to do a podcast about this before it went down. So hopefully we'll be able to go visit the bathroom and see where this guy's staying at. What's the situation like? How is it like where you kind of see Bin Laden, where he's locked up in the cellar or something like that? I actually don't know if Bin Laden was locked up in a cellar, but maybe it's a situation. I don't know. It's like a prison, but a nice prison where you're not going to get beat. I don't know what's going on with this bathroom. I got a lot of questions about this bathroom, guys. But I think we're 7 days in. It looks like he's going pretty strong. So we're going to be very interested to follow up with this. Hopefully I'll reach out to Rory, get him on a pod. Maybe we can talk more about exactly how this bet came to be. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? What would be your strategy to make it? You got to make it. What's your strategy? I mean, if you're not going to leave the bathroom, how you lose? You go crazy, you just walk out, I can't take it anymore? Maybe. I don't know, man. I'm excited to find out what happens. Give me your thoughts, guys. Let me know. Talk to you soon. Be back tomorrow. Podcast with my man Phil Galfond, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Tune in then. Take it easy, guys. Peace.